Coming up on AgweekTV, we're at the 38th Annual Big Iron Farm Show in Fargo with updates on trade and why the number of international guests is down at this year's show. We'll talk with USDA Undersecretary Bill Northey about the trade aid program, and we'll have analysis of the USDA supply and demand report. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. This week we bring you a special edition of the show from Big Iron in West Fargo. And we're here at one of the largest volunteer-run farm equipment shows in the Midwest, thanks to Superior Grain Equipment. Big Iron features more than 900 exhibits, new technology, machinery and equipment, plus field demos and training sessions. And the Issues and Events Center features top policy discussions with lawmakers and industry leaders, in addition to market roundtables. More than 70,000 people attend the show, including guests from several countries. Trade has been a buzz at every farm show this summer, and Big Iron is no exception. NAFTA discussions continued this week in Washington with both Mexico and Canada. Lawmakers are generally optimistic about the bilateral deal struck between the U.S. and Mexico as it retains zero tariffs on farm goods.
What we've seen in terms of agriculture, and that was our big concern, we conveyed to the administration many times, do no harm, just make sure you don't do anything that adversely impacts agriculture, and we think we came out pretty good.
The Mexico deal is also providing some leverage with Canada, but dairy is still a sticking point. Yet lawmakers are hopeful for a new NAFTA deal before the president's September 30th deadline.
My hope is that within the next few weeks, we'll see NAFTA finalized or a version of a trade agreement that's at least in a better spot than NAFTA was.
Noam hopes that will pave the way for resolving the trade war with China. USDA Undersecretary Bill Northey was here at Big Iron to talk about farm programs and provide details of the recently announced market facilitation program. Michael Pate's caught up with him to get the details.
Thanks, Michelle. We're here with Undersecretary Bill Northey, who is talking about many things regarding Farm Bill, implementing this market payment. Tell me about the difficulty or ease of building this around 2018 farm production.
Looking at 2018, it allowed us to be able to address what the impact would be to producers. If you have 200 bushel corn, you're impacted to a greater degree than if you have 40 bushel corn. To be able to address disasters, we really have crop insurance rather than this market facilitation program. So we decided both for ease of implementation and for the best approach, although not perfect for everybody, certainly the best approach was to use 2018 production numbers.
Also, the question of what statistics you use. I know there's some interest in using the RMA statistics as a gold standard for this. Tell me how solid is that idea, and what does the administration think?
Yeah, we certainly want to, wherever possible, be able to use those standards. So if we have a loss that a producer has and we have an audit that was done around RMA production numbers, then folks should be able to use those. So we want to use those parallel numbers wherever we can. Well, U.S. Undersecretary Bill Northey, thank you very much. Back to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Mikkel. International visitors are a big part of Big Iron, but the numbers are way down this year. With more on that story, here's Jenny Schlecht.
Michelle, more people than ever in the 12-year history of the International Visitors Program applied to come to Big Iron, but due to visa denials, only 50 were allowed to come. Simon Wilson is the executive director of the North Dakota Trade Office. He says visitors are here from more than 15 countries with intentions to make purchases of machinery, commodities, or technologies like drones. He isn't sure why the U.S. State Department denied so many visas this year, but he says it's another frustrating situation for trade.
So people who sign up and come to us from here predominantly are interested in buying something or making an agreement with a North Dakota company. And for us, when they get a visa denial, that means they can't come and they can't meet and they can't buy from here. So then we look at that as an opportunity lost.
Wilson says the program will continue. He says it's important to keep building relationships during the ongoing trade disruptions. Michelle?
Our coverage here of Big Iron is being brought to you by Superior Grain Equipment, and joining us, Dave Waylander and Trevor Mayer. And Trevor, wow, there's never been more need for storage than this year.
Yeah, there's been a ton of difficulties for farmers this year with the tariffs, the steel prices for the bin side of it, and with the yields. I mean, there's going to be a lot of grain out there.
What are the advantages of on-farm or on-site storage versus commercial storage?
So one of the main advantages that you'll see is you're able to market your grain when you want and hopefully get a higher price for it at that point.
And Dave, talk about proper grain storage and how important that's going to be when we're looking at so much temporary storage maybe this year on the ground or in bags.
There's a big risk that you run, when you're doing temporary grain storage. Guys are piling on the ground, they're putting it in bunkers, or they're putting it in some sort of bag or something like that. And the shelf life is only a few months when you do something like that. And if you don't have your grain marketed in that period of time, you're on borrowed time.
Is there still time for producers to get storage bins up?
Absolutely. We still can definitely, get something up and ready for corn harvest. So we got great crews. They're fast, they're efficient, and we have a lot of them at our disposal.
Also joining us is John Ingolstad and is International Sales Manager. What kind of trends are you seeing from an international standpoint?
More and more storage needs. I travel to Africa quite a bit, and there's just tremendous post-harvest losses, and they're not used to storing the grain. They put it on the ground, and they're seeing that they can buy a lot of storage with all that loss. So we're seeing more and more in the third world countries. They're getting into storage for the smallholder farmers.
John, also talk about the international delegate tour that you held at your plant in Kindred this week.
We had probably 40 to 45 international visitors. They're very interested to actually see the process, how the bins are made, see how everything works, get their hands on the product, and they always find it very interesting.
Thanks, John. We appreciate you joining us. Next up on AgweekTV, we'll have analysis of the USDA September crop production report.
My name is Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a corn stalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs in the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. Northstar Ag offers the Loftiness GrainLogix Grain Bag Loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Loftiness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. Northstar Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Giving farmers access to data from the elevator right in their pocket, helping them make better decisions. No more keeping track of paper scale tickets. Innovation. It's always been a part of the farming culture. Integrating directly with elevators to give growers real-time information, all through a mobile app. Your elevator, powered by Bushel.
AgweekTV, presented by Kaler Farms.
USDA's supply and demand report was out on Wednesday. This is always a big report as it's the first to use field data like ear counts and weights on corn. The big shock, USDA raised corn yields nearly 3 bushels to a record 181.3 bushels per acre, which bumped up production and ending stocks. U.S. soybean yields, production, and ending stocks were also increased from August to record levels. And USDA left U.S. wheat ending stocks unchanged, but surprisingly increased world carryover. Joining us with the report and market analysis is Todd Helpman. And Todd, big shocker in the report was USDA raising yield to a record over 181 bushels per acre.
Did not see that one coming, to be honest, Michelle. I was concerned that we would be steady or higher compared to a month ago, but 181 is above everybody's pre-report estimate, and yeah, that is a bit of a shock to the corn price.
Do you feel like prices are low enough on corn yet to price all of this bigger yield in? Because the ending stocks number was actually raised only to like 1.77 billion bushels.
Yeah, the demand scenario for corn is still fairly optimistic going into the first half of 2019. I think today it's going to take a while for this surprise to be digested by the market, and maybe it pushed the seasonal low a little farther ahead. So instead of like early October, we might be looking at a seasonal low in November or something. But once we get past harvest time, I have a better optimism for the corn price.
So Todd, as far as the soybean number, the yield came in a little bit below 53 bushels per acre. It looked like the market was kind of expecting that.
I don't think that was a big surprise. And in fact, I think it was in the middle roughly of pre-report estimates.
Is it possible that we've put in a low now in the soybean market as a result of that? Or?
I don't think we're quite there yet seasonally or from a time dimension, but price-wise, we're certainly, I think, have very good reason to believe that there's support coming into this market. We're at long-term, like roughly 11-year lows on our cash soybean prices.
And wheat market, it really wasn't about U.S. ending stocks there. It was more about what was going on with corn in the world market numbers? Or?
Yeah, I think one of the surprises in the world wheat estimate was the Russian crop got increased 3 million metric tons. We were expecting some small reductions from Australia and Canada that came through, but the Russian crop was a bit of a surprise, and I think that plus the more bearish corn number really hit the wheat price.
Thanks for joining us so much. That is Todd Heltman with DTN, and for extended conversation, you can go to agweek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, we'll find out how the continued low commodity prices are impacting land values. And later, we'll have your agri-weather forecast.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Aspire is a premium delivery of boron. It's a potash source that has two forms of boron in it. One form of boron is available early in the crop needs, and then we have another form of boron that's more of a slow release. So throughout the whole growth stage or a cycle of a crop, you need to teaspoon feed that crop, especially with these micronutrients. If you need to learn more about boron, what does boron do within the plant? So we have aspireboron.com. There's also cropnutrition.com.
Welcome back to AgweekTV at Big Iron, brought to you by Superior Grain Equipment. Land values always interest farmers. With more on that topic, here's Jonathan Knutson.
Michelle, generalizing about land values is risky, but overall, they're holding steady or ticking higher, 3 land specialists said. Prices vary from county to county and even field to field. Yields and competitive pressure are among the factors in play.
By and large, the market is steady to up a little bit, which surprises a lot of people given the concerns there are in agriculture with tariffs and lower commodity prices and areas where there's been weather concerns and so forth. But the market throughout the summer and into early fall is appearing to be very strong.
Some of what Qualley said about land values will be surprising to many in ag, but he has an especially knowledgeable perspective. Michelle?
Thanks, Jonathan. And now here's our AgriWeather Outlook.
This past week's pattern, the jet stream has been basically just to the north of the Dakotas, and that's allowed some milder air as well as variable weather conditions throughout the week. But this week's pattern, we're finally going to see the jet stream just sink just a little further south, and that's going to help bring in some cool fall air as well as several chances for at least some small rain chances this week. And also the polar jet is trying to make a return across portions of the Hudson Bay, but that low and that cold weather is going to remain across the north central portions of Canada for the upcoming week. Looking at the drought monitor right now, again, there is still dry conditions, mainly along and north of US 2 and North Dakota. Still some severe drought conditions going on between Minot and Rugby. And then further down into South Dakota, north and central portions of South Dakota experiencing some dry conditions as well. And the Four Corners down across the southern portions of the U.S. is starting to see at least a little bit of relief, but still a long way to go with that severe to exceptional drought continuing all the way down into portions of Texas, eastern Kansas, and over towards the Ozarks. Precipitation-wise this week, those areas that do need it are still going to remain rather on the dry side, but across North Dakota, we'll have at least several small chances for rain this upcoming week, and the remnants of what's left over from Hurricane Florence will still make for wet conditions up and down the East Coast and portions of the Ohio River Valley. But again, things do remain dry across a good portion of the western and south central portions of the U.S. And looking at temperatures this week, we are looking at cooler faller air coming our way for the Dakotas this upcoming week, where it is still mild, though, across much of the rest of the lower 48 states, and still cooler across the good portions of the northwestern states for this upcoming week. So what we are tracking, that fall weather pattern setting up this week, and several small rain chances will continue for at least the next 2 weeks of September.
Stein Seed Company is home to one of the most prolific, highest-yielding corn and soybean breeding programs in the world. When it comes to research, yield is what matters most. With the largest private soybean breeding program in the U.S. and the industry's most aggressive corn research, Stein is in a class of its own when it comes to developing new, higher-performing seed. Choose genetics. Choose results. Give Shane Kylo a call at 701-866-9864 to learn what Stein Seed can do for your operation.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called the Cornstalk Guide. It's made out of UHMW, ultra-high molecular weight poly, which is extremely durable. Typically what you'll see on corn heads is the idler chain in the sprocket sticks out. We attach to the side of a snout. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Ricard, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series Rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance system to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Badco dealer.
The AgweekTV Ag Tech Minute is brought to you by Bushel.
Technology is quickly changing the business of farming. On this week's Ag Tech Minute, we'll learn about a new local software company that's helping agribusiness be more efficient.
Stoneridge is a software consulting company that help businesses run their companies. Leverage, we're taking that same idea on the products that Stoneridge supports and building out software specific to agricultural space. We're starting with ag retailers, your local co-ops, the folks that farmers interact with every single day. What our product does for that ag retailer then is helps them track what's the productivity of that field over a length of time, what does the price list look like right now. For an ag retailer, there are many benefits. The ability to track what's in their warehouse really closely. There's a lot of grain moving in and out of those warehouses. There's a lot of chemical and whatnot. Ability to really track and know what's in those at any one time, that's critical. Also the benefits that they can give to their growers. The ability for the grower to look on their phone and know how much business they're doing, what contracts do they have outstanding with the ag retailer. Can they create a new contract, just do it through their mobile apps? Those are things that right now aren't that accessible in the market. They all bring huge value to both the ag retailer and to the grower. We feel like we might be on something and we're excited to bring it to the market.
Joining us from Peterson Farm Seeds is President Carl Peterson, and you recently had your field day. And talk a little bit about the focus of that field day.
So we've been doing this is the 17th annual field day, and everything about our field day is focused on helping our customers and our friends who may become our customers raise bigger soybean and corn yields on their farm, because we know that's the key. We've got a bad price situation right now, but the best way to deal with that is to raise more bushels, and that's what we focus on.
What is coming into the pipeline or down the pipeline for 2019 that farmers are going to be using in their fields?
There has been a movement in corn to more conventional hybrids, and that's primarily a cost basis. Now, since that began, we have known that eventually farmers are going to remember why they really liked the BT technology for insect control. So we think there'll be a little more movement towards the insect traits in corn this year. In soybeans, LibertyLink GT27, which is a brand new trait that we'll be bringing to the market that allows farmers to spray both Liberty and Roundup either sequentially or together on their soybeans, and that's been a great program. And then we're also growing quite a few enlist varieties. That variety still needs Chinese approval. It's going to be a great technology for the future.
When we see all the mergers that are happening within the seed industry, talk about what it means to be an independent, family-owned company.
Oh, we love being independent. We've been about the 23rd year of our company, and it's just so much fun to be able to take actions that'll help your customers without having to, ask somebody else.
It was a pleasure to visit with you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Carl.
You bet. Thank you.
Carl Peterson, president of Peterson Farms Seed. Still ahead on AgweekTV, why more and more farmers are choosing to tile their fields.
Big Boy Toys.
Steffes. We have representatives everywhere. Through North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota, we can find a buyer for what you are selling. We know how to market your farmland or equipment. Give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Wet areas in fields can cost farmers in lost yield. However, tiling is a simple way to solve that problem. Field Drainage Incorporated is helping farmers be more productive on their land.
The Detterman family has been tiling fields for 40 years. Jess Detterman's parents, Dell and Cindy, started Field Drainage Inc. in 1978.
We run 3 or 4 crews, and we cover the entire Red River Valley.
Tiling costs between $400 and $1,200 an acre. Detterman says at first it can be hard to convince farmers that tiling pays off, but he says they quickly become believers.
Tiling costs a lot of money to begin with, but it's something that'll last for generations. If it's a wet year, I've heard of tiling paying for itself in 1 or 2 years.
Detterman says the biggest benefit comes in the spring.
If you can plant a week or 2 weeks before you would have, your yields just go through the roof.
A lot of guys, tight clay, we don't need the tile, and you're just kind of wasting your money, they thought. But then a couple guys started doing it and seen they were out in the fields a couple weeks sooner and having better yields, and they're like, oh, well, I guess it does pay to put it in the clay.
Darren Prochnow is one of those farmers who was skeptical at first. So he hired Field Drainage to tile 1 quarter during a wet cycle 15 years ago.
It was amazing the difference in soil tilth, the ease of working the ground, and we had a couple wet years. We'd pull into that tile quarter and we could drive the trucks around out in the field, wouldn't get stuck, pulled the chisel plow in, worked everything up real nice, and the field next to it, the neighbors are getting stuck. And that's when I was convinced it's time to put together a tiling plan.
Now, all Prochnow's land is tiled and he's seen a consistent boost in yields. But he also says there's significant savings in time and inputs, all thanks to Field Drainage Inc.
I can honestly say is by far the best investment I've ever made. Not only for me and all for my family's land, but my son is beginning to farm too. And it'll be something that he'll enjoy for the rest of his farming career too.
Wayne Miller also farms in Richland County.
Field drainage has been great to work with.
He says tiling helps in dry years as well as wet ones.
Dry years, it doesn't seem that it gets hurt me for yield either. I was worried about that too, but it seems like there's enough moisture to carry the crops through, and so it's been good.
There's a lot of benefits that go straight down to the checkbook, where guys are making more money because they're getting bigger yields. But there is some satisfaction in guys that'll tell me that farming is fun again.
For more information, call the number on your screen or go to fielddrainageinc.com.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV from Big Iron, and our thanks to Superior Grain Equipment for their sponsorship of this show. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the AgWeek app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.